Louisiana's wetlands have been destroyed by the oil and gas industry for the past 70 years. This is not a new story, but we are now experiencing the unprecedented climax of this plot. The giant plumes of oil from the BP oil spill have reached our shores and the havoc has begun. The majority of oyster beds in Louisiana have been closed and the area's seafood industry is suffering. Al Sanseri, owner of P&J Oyster Company, a New Orleans institution since 1876, has joined us to explain how his business is feeling the devastating impacts. His story, unfortunately, is one that is destined to be repeated by countless businesses in the weeks and months to come. Al, thanks for joining us. You are one of the owners of P&J Oyster House, am I right?
Yes, I'm a co-owner with my brother Sal. My father began working here in 1952. I started working here in 1980. I've been here for the last 31 years. My brother started working here in 1984. My sister in 1991, who just recently retired, and my son in 2004. We're mainly a wholesale house, and we deliver oysters to restaurateurs, hotels, and groceries and casinos within the metropolitan New Orleans area. And this is my office. I chose this office because I could look out over the oyster plant. I like doing that. When I started here, my dad left me alone, and the only way that I could really look at what everyone was doing was be sitting right here, pointed that way.
You've been grotesquely impacted by this oil gusher in the Gulf. Could you tell us how that's impacted you? What's this doing to your business?
Well, I remember when I heard that they had the explosion and the people died on the rig, and I was sitting at my neighbor's house, and she asked me, she said, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, I don't think it's going to be good." And she said, "But they said that, you know, things are okay and it's not going to be that bad. They got things under control." And I said, "No, I think it's much more than what you would think."
So you immediately got that feeling?
I got a feeling that, knowing how oil and gas companies are, that they mislead and don't truly tell the full story.
Does this whole thing not make your blood boil?
No, my blood's not boiling over because I'm not a pessimist. I think that things can come back from this, and I'm hopeful that they will. I'm not happy what's happened. I can't do anything about it. We deal with it day to day, and I'm hopeful that my son will be able to carry on the tradition here. But I think our company and our community and oysters will be impacted for some time to come.
What's functioning now?
Currently on the east side of the river, this is the only area that's open, Area 7. Barataria Basin, Pontchartrain Basin is where we've made a name for ourselves over the years. And since this whole thing's gone on, it's changed our business completely.
So you would have oyster shuckers?
Yeah, typically out here we'd have 7 oyster shuckers on this side, 6 oyster shuckers on that side, and another 4 against that wall. We used to have 17 prior to Hurricane Katrina. Since that time, we've been able to bring it up to between 9 and 11 people on a regular basis.
And they'd be working 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, or what kind of, what are we looking at?
Not that long. It's usually between 4:30 in the morning and 10:30, 11 o'clock in the day.
Seeing it not terribly busy, what can I say? I mean, that's got to make you feel something when you look at this empty room.
Well, having walked in here nearly every morning for the last 31 years and hearing the sounds of production going on, it's significantly different. And what more so for me is the people that I grew up with in business, because you know, there's a lot of the ladies that we were in our 20s when we started working here, and now I'm in my 50s, and to have them not here me not providing for them, our company not being able to take care of them, it's impacted the way I feel more than anything. The sound and not doing it, the money part of it, the financial part of it isn't as much as what it is for that family, the responsibility that I feel for them. You know, it's like, gosh, we all needed ourselves to be able to be successful.
Yeah.
And because of them, we were successful.
How long can you sustain such a thing? That's pretty challenging. I mean, you're a cool customer. You're very pragmatic and strong about it. But how long can a business take that?
It's hard to say. I've had some help from British Petroleum through the claims that has helped keep the wolf away from the door.
Right.
If that remains in place, I think we'll be able to manage.
Do you think BP will be capricious and decide, you know what, now it's time to see what really a legitimate complaint is? I mean, clearly you're legitimate. New Orleans businesses are legitimate. This is how we live. This is how we survive. This is how we keep our economy going. But you don't trust. You have a healthy distrust of oil companies. How do you feel this thing's going to go down with BP?
Well, I'm hopeful that they're going to follow through with their commitment to make everyone whole. The president has said that he's going to make everyone whole that's been impacted by the disaster. So I'm going to hold them to that, and I'll be the first one to get up and shout out loud when they don't. All I want to do is sell oysters. All I want to do is go back to.
All I want to do is eat the oysters.
Thanks. Because if we don't have the people that enjoy what we do, and that's what makes us successful, is the customers, the people that love oysters. And so, having said that, I hope that we can get back to do what we've always done for all these generations. And I've had tourists that have come by that have taken pictures in here over the years and stop in and say, it's just all different.
Yeah.
I am an optimist. I don't think that this is going to be the demise of our business. With y'all's prayers, with all the people, rooting for us, we'll be back.
I hope so, for all of us.
Thanks a lot, Brennan.
Thanks a lot, Al.